Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
What is up? Happy Monday. Welcome to Undisputed live from Los Angeles. If you can't wait to get to it, I'm Holly Saunders. You know these guys. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon, look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live reenactment of what's going inside his brain right now. That's Shannon Sharpe's brain spinning.
I'm supposed to have
spinning and spinning and spinning. Are you hypnotized by it?
Bayless.
Is that how you feel?
Bayless.
Look at this.
Look at me.
That's suspended hovering.
Why do you have a prop?
How is that happening?
Props are unnecessary.
They're unbelievable. They're like magic.
Unplug
the
it.
Cowboys are like magic.
No, they're not like magic.
It's unbelievable. And how about them Cowboys?
So now we bring
Sorry,
out
I had
props.
to get that out of my
So
system.
now we bring out props.
Me bring out props? I can't even begin to compete with your props.
Right.
That's perfect because that's what your brain looks like right now. Am I right about that?
I'm the prop king.
Yeah.
The stage is only, this desk is only big enough for one person
Thank you
to
for
have
this.
props.
How long does
How
it
are
get
you,
to stay?
Holly?
How long does it get to stay on the desk?
It's going to be gone because it'll be presto changeo and it'll be gone.
Good.
Just in a second.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Magic. They are magic.
Just like you guys in the playoffs.
Yep. Magic.
There you go. Hey, Holly, how are you today?
Doing
How are
well,
you, Holly?
guys. Oh, doing great.
And I got to thank Ernestine for this. She gave me this for my birthday.
Ernestine?
Thank you. Way to go, Ernestine.
You know what? I got a little plan for that.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, you're going to damage it before this is over.
All right, it will definitely stay on the desk for this segment, guys. Let's get right into it. The Cowboys and Eagles were tied with just over 3 minutes left in the fourth yesterday when Dak Prescott hit Amari Cooper for a 75-yard touchdown. The Eagles tied it up on their next possession, but Dallas won in OT thanks to an 8-minute, 75-yard drive. Dak found his new favorite target, Cooper, after the ball was deflected, but Cooper still caught it for the game-winning score. Dak finished with 455 passing yards, and Cooper scored 3 times. Take a listen to both of them after the game.
I'm excited for one. Excited and just thankful for this team we have, this team, this coaching staff, and be able to just to continue to fight. And when things were up, things were down, a team that never wavered, that never blinked, that never doubted us coming out on top. I'm thankful for that, honestly.
This is really a dream come true. When I thought of playing in the NFL as a youth, this is the perfect example of that. From everything from the city, the facilities, winning, watching that defense out there, watching his offense out here. It's just a dream come true.
All right, so Shannon, simply put, how impressive was Dallas yesterday?
For me, I think you have to be impressed with the win, Skip, but I think there has to be some pause and some reasons for concern. The Eagles, if you look at, let's just take for the Cowboys, for instance. They were 10 of 9 on 10 of 19 on third down. That's 53%. The Eagles were 1 for 9. That's 11%. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys outgained the Eagles by 320 yards.
Yep.
Possessed the football 23 more minutes. And you needed overtime to get the job done.
Yep.
So you have to be impressed with the win. But, Skip, you did all of that. There's nothing. Your big three goes bonkers. Dak, 455. Amari Cooper, 217. Zeke had 40 touches, 12 catches, over 100 yards rushing.
Yep.
And you needed overtime to get the job done. You have to pause a little bit, right, Skip? You have to look at Dak. Let's take the first 3 quarters. He was very pedestrian. Yeah, he had 25 completions, 2 interceptions. This game could. You shouldn't have had to need overtime. You should have put this game away early because Walk It To Him did not have his best day. I still do not believe that knee, his land knee, when the ball, once he's finished throwing the ball, Skip, I don't believe it's 100% healthy. But the Cowboys can't do anything about that. That's between Dak and, I'm not Dak, that's between Walk It To Him and getting his mindset.
Yep.
The Cowboys, I don't know if they can play any better offensively.
Yep.
Especially when you're big three. 576 total yards. You're like, ooh, Skip, I know you was there pretty. I know you was going over there turning black flip because you come out there with your little prop. I'm going to have to talk to Ernestine about buying you stuff and having it bring it.
The prop really got you.
Yeah.
Just shot you right in the heart. Because you can't top it.
Why is she buying you?
I topped everything. All your goat masks and your jerseys and all your black and miles.
It's
you
pretty
can't
badass,
compete.
it is.
Yeah, you're okay. Your day coming, though. But you know what, Skip? I'm going to give Dallas credit in this aspect. Every time the Eagles got back in the game, they tied the game, Dallas come right back. They tie the game again, Dallas comes right back. And then they get the ball in overtime. I don't know why Lane Johnson, Skip, I couldn't hear the sound, but I can just read. I can hear the official, and I saw what he said. He calls tails. Stop calling tails on the coin flip. That's a bump move.
You know
Call
what?
heads.
I agree with that. I have never in my life called tails.
Never. And I get it. You know, if you flip a coin 100 times, it's going to be 50-50, maybe 51-49.
Got to call heads.
Heads.
I know. When he called tails, I was like,
yeah, that was a bump move.
thank you.
But for you to do what you did, Dallas, and it still requires overtime, that has to leave you cause for some concerns. I thought the defense, you know, considering what they did to Skip, what they did to New Orleans and what the Cowboys and how they played defensive over the last since this 5-game winning streak, it left me a little deflated because I think they could have played better than what they played, and I think what they did, it was Wentz. It wasn't anything they were doing because he had some guys open, and I was very disappointed in his accuracy. Yesterday, there's no way you were that accurate last year pre-injury, and all of a sudden you come back and you're this inaccurate this year. This is why I believe it has everything to do with the injury and him not fully mentally. I think the doctors have cleared him. I think the knee is just fine. But mentally, there's a hurdle he's going to have to overcome. So, Skip, I'm going to give you credit. Hey, they won the ball game. Dak was great when he absolutely had to be, which was fourth quarter and overtime. Amari Cooper was magnificent. This is why sometimes, Skip, you need a number one receiver because you don't have to call play. You don't have to worry about the quarterback throwing him open. He can go get open. And then he makes everybody else's job. Now, all of a sudden, Michael Gallup, now you can see why, I see why the Cowboys took you in the third round. Jeff Swaim and Barwin. You're like, okay, yeah, now I see you guys are decent.
Not Jeff Swaim, he's gone, but
Barwin. You can see why, okay, you're not Jason Witten, but I can see why, you know, you got some promise. So I'm going to give you, if I had to grade the Cowboys' performance, I'd probably give them a C+, considering all those yards, holding the Eagles to so few yards, and this is all you got.
So, since you went there, you're going so good, and then you took one left turn, I'm going to call you for it.
What'd I do?
Carson Wentz was pretty awful most of the day yesterday. He made one good late throw, and it was his only good throw of the game. And he took advantage of a Byron Jones who wound up on Aguilar and got a little lackadaisical because he'd had Zach Ertz most of the game, or he'd been on Alshon. And he finally kind of lost a little focus. He said, I got this, and Aguilar got behind him, and Carson made one big-time throw. The rest of the game, he was pretty below average to me. He was bounce it to him, Wentz, or WINCE, because many times when he threw it, I went, ooh, that was just bad. That was wild high. That was wild low.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's overrated. And I don't think he's better than Dak Prescott. And you have just repeatedly told me he's the best quarterback in the NFC East. He wasn't yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Because Dak did have a 62 QBR to Carson Wentz's 53. So let's just start right there. Dak slightly outplayed. I'll just give you slightly outplayed Carson Wentz. That's the big picture.
Okay.
Now back to your other points, which were all valid points, actually Hall of Fame points, which is rare from you because you don't usually back up your credentials. There's no but coming.
Okay.
The truth is, back to Holly's question, how impressed was I? Not that impressed. That's what's shocking to me. This team just wears me out. I was on the floor at the end of the game. I'm sweating. I'm hyperventilating. I'm hoarse from screaming at the TV, especially at my number 4 quarterback. And yet, and still, when I picked myself up off the floor, I realized they have now won 5 straight games, and they have a 2-game lead over the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East with 3 to play. And that is wildly impressive, right?
Yep.
You cannot take that away.
Oh, yeah.
And yet, I look at these numbers, to your point, these are domination numbers. These are blowout numbers. If I just read these numbers to you and you didn't know the outcome of the game and I told you yardage 576 to 256, you'd say, first downs 32 to 60. Oh, third down 10 of 19 plus a big fourth down conversion. To 1 of 9? Really? Time of possession. Think about this. 45 minutes to 23 minutes? That's pathetic. That's a beat down.
Yeah.
That's a rout.
That's 20 points. That's 17 to 20 point margin of victory all day.
And guess what, boys and girls? It went to overtime. And it actually, in the end, took a lucky bounce for me to win it. Because Rasul Douglas did get his hand in on the throw. He actually covered it big time great.
He didn't fully commit, Skip.
Okay, but he stopped. It was a slant. And again, Amari Cooper said after the game, he got me. I tried to deke him a little bit,
Yep.
like with the
Tried
fade.
to open him up,
Nope. But then I continued on with the slant. Dak's got a rusher right in his face, and Dak flipped it a little behind him on purpose,
Yeah.
where he could kind of stop and try to catch it. But Rasul gets his hand on the ball. And if it tips a little left, maybe far right, but if it tips back a little left, maybe we're having a different conversation. Maybe they go the other direction.
Right.
See it tips straight up, Rasul loses it, and it's magic. It falls right in Amari's lap, and he's like, there's nobody left.
what?
I'm going to score.
The question I have for you, Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument that pass is incomplete. Do you believe Dallas goes for it again on 4th down, or do they kick the field goal?
I'm pretty sure they would kick the field goal at that time because I didn't want them to go for it the first time on 4th down because I thought you just got to kick the field. You just gotten stonewalled on 3rd down.
Because they scored that touchdown with 8:05, so there's only 10 minutes in overtime. It's not the full 15 like a normal quarter. So I believe you're right. I believe they kicked the field goal and says there's no way the Eagles are going to be able to go down the field and get a touchdown.
Correct. So now to your biggest picture point, I would like to thank God above today for Amari Cooper. And I'll be the first to admit publicly, before the trade was made, we talked about the possibility, and I was skeptical.
Yes.
He dropped way too many balls in Oakland.
Yeah.
But now he is happy in Dallas, and I'm happy in L.A. because he's happy in Dallas, because he's making me happier and happier. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Jerry Jones has gone from being ridiculed for this trade to being an Executive of the Year candidate for pulling it off. Mm. And I tweeted this at the end of the game, and this is from my heart. He has been worth 2 first-round picks, and I'm being serious about that. What his impact has been on this football team, especially if they have a potential to make a deep playoff run in the NFC.
Right.
I don't know the way it's going right now. New Orleans is in the driver's seat, but New Orleans doesn't really look like New Orleans. So is it possible Dallas would get hotter and hotter and start cleaning up their act and start having some big dominating wins? It's possible, and that's all due to Amari Cooper.
Right.
Since he joined the team, he leads the NFL in yards. Mm-hmm. He does?
Right.
Really? And yesterday, he made Dak Prescott look a lot better than Dak deserved to look.
First 3 quarters, Zach was 25 of 34, 212, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 4th quarter in overtime, 17 of 20, 243, 3 TDs. What he can do, Skip, is that a lot of guys, we've seen guys catch the ball, okay, and wherever they catch the ball, that's where they are. Amari Cooper, he's going to make a guy miss and he can hit his head on the goalpost. You saw that on the 75-yarder. You saw that on some short catches, Skip. He was getting yards after the catch, and this is what makes him spectacular. Do you absolutely need a number 1 in order to go to and win a Super Bowl? Probably not. But unless you have one of these elite quarterbacks, unless you have a Brady or a Rodgers or a Manning, Skip, this guy, you call a play and you don't have to pick. You don't have to rub. You don't have to hope someone blows a coverage in order for him to get the ball.
Yep.
He can go get open. And if you watch him, you watch how patient he is, and that's the number 1 thing a receiver needs to have in order to be successful. He needs to be patient. He needs to be able to trust his ability. And he knew, even though the guy lined up, Douglas lined up inside. Douglas knows it's 0 coverage, which means the middle of the field is vacated. They're coming what we call a bomb blitz. They're emptying the chamber.
Which play you're talking about?
The last play of the game.
Okay.
Skip, here's the thing. Now, in a situation like this, bomb blitz, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, whatever the down the distance was, they're running 2 routes. They're running a slant or they're running a go. Because if they double move me, if they hit me with the double move, I'm saying, Coach, the D-line didn't get there. You got to hit him in his mouth. Because by the time he does this and reset, Fletcher Cox should hit him right here on his chin. Okay, so if they double move me, that's the blitzer's fault. I'm playing for the slant. Where he made the mistake, Skip, he didn't fully commit. Because if you look at it, he put his left hand, but he had his right hand just in case. You got to commit to that.
He's alone with the best receiver on the field, though. He still played it great.
No.
I don't care what you say.
Skip, I'm not backpedaling.
Yeah.
I'm lining up 7 yards off. I'm a yard inside.
He's Rasul Douglas.
I don't care. Trust what you've seen on tape.
Rasul Douglas.
What have you seen on tape?
Come on. I give him a huge break here.
I got a 50-50 chance, Skip. They're going to run a slant or they're going to run a go. In the situation, what's the easier of the throws? The go route or the slant route? They're going to take the easier of the two. I'm jumping that.
So, back to my quarterback, who wears me out, which is why I take the jersey on and off, and I put it back on, and I take it off, and then I start to take it off, and then I put it back on. And yesterday he did some really, really bad things, and he ended up doing some really, really good things. And if I may detail, he threw 2 interceptions in the game. The first one wasn't so bad because Rasul Douglas had played the game of his life. He was playing zone, and he backed off. He came running out of his zone to snag it at the end.
That was a great play.
Yeah, it was a great play. The second one was just wild high to Michael Gallup. I have no idea. It looked like a Carson Wentz special to me. And the sack fumble is just unconscionable, and you have talked about it. You said it last week. I don't know if his hands are small, but he just does not protect the football under duress, and he lost another one. Then he missed little measly Beasley on a little 5-yard flip in the end zone. That cost him four points, because it was a tough throw because he was covered, but he threw it like 6 inches too far.
Right.
And then he's got Amari with 58 seconds left. This one nearly stopped my heart and took 7 years off my life. But he had Amari wide open, 5 yards free for the game breaker. It's iced. It's over. And he overthrows him by 5 yards. Yeah. You just can't. This is the play. If you're that team and that guy, you have to make that throw to win that game, because this was for all the marbles. And I am sprawled on the floor because you have given them life and then more life. So despite all these blowout stats, you gave them another life, and you nearly took mine away from me.
Because, Skip, if I'm on the opposing team and I see him keep missing these throws, as bad as we're playing, I'm like, hey, he giving us every opportunity to hang here. And Dak had 455. He should have had 600 yards passing. Skip, how many times did he miss Gallup deep? And if he can ever hit Gallup consistently, because for whatever reason, Gallup finds himself behind the defenders more times than not on deep throws. If Dak can hit one of those, because he's there like 3 to 4 times a game, if he can hit one of those consistently a game, Skip, that's going to be huge. That could have easily been over 500 yards with the deep balls.
And just when I thought I could trust my defense to be the best defense in pro football, they suffocated Carson Wentz for 3 quarters. And what happened in the 4th quarter, I don't know. Because Carson Wentz and company started to really move the football like crazy in money time. They scored 17 points in the 4th quarter. No good. Won't work.
Not against a top defense. You can't allow that to happen. Not in your building.
Nope. You can't allow. That's a bad sign for making a deep playoff run.
Correct.
Which brings me back to my quarterback. For Holly's sake, since she knows golf, I'm going to give you a golf analogy. Tiger Woods cannot drive the ball, but Dak Prescott can really drive the ball because that's what he does best. Tiger Woods is way left, way right. You never know where it's going. But Dak Prescott is right down the middle every time they drive the football. And in the game, just real quick, some of the drives, and by the way, they took over the NFL lead yesterday in time of possession because they went 13 plays, 80 yards, 10 for 69, 10 for 52, 9 for 51, and 9 for 75, which brings me to the overtime. They take the overtime kickoff, and they eat up 8 minutes and 5 seconds. They drive the ball 13 plays, 75 yards. It's hard to do because you're going to screw it up somewhere. Somewhere you're going to get stopped. But my quarterback is a warrior, and he is a 3rd down warrior. And the play of the game for me was 3rd and 9 from the Eagles' 40 in overtime, where I thought they're stymied. I think they're going to have to punt this, or I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think you can go for it. You're not close enough.
No.
And what did he do? He hits Amari on a little crossing route. He got a little pick from Measly Beasley. He's pretty measly, so he can't really pick much. But how big a play was this?
It was huge.
It's just huge because it saves the game. It just saves the game. And he trusts 19 implicitly, so he just lobs it out and lets him run and get it because he trusts. And I got to knock on wood here. Have you seen Amari drop 1 ball as a Dallas Cowboy? I've not even seen it. I don't even see him bobble a ball.
And you know what, Skip? This is what makes this trade, because what the Raiders thought they were going to get when they made this trade, the Cowboys were 3-5. So they're like, oh, we about to get a top 5 pick or at least a top 10. Now they go on this win streak. Now that pick's going to be, let's just say for the sake of argument, it's somewhere between 20 and 28. The Bears, the same thing. So what you thought you were going to get at the beginning of the season, we might have 3 picks in the top 10.
Correct.
Now the only pick in the top 10 you're going to have is your own.
That is correct.
And now you look at what those guys have brought to the teams. You look at the Cowboys offense and the way they're playing since Amari Cooper. You look at the Bears defense. The only thing that has changed with the Bears defense, Skip, is Khalil Mack. they pick the ball off, they get to the quarterback, and that's a direct reflection of Khalil Mack.
That is correct.
Skip, this is Amari Cooper, Skip. He's better than advertised. And I told you, sometimes, Skip, I think that one of the biggest things that go unnoticed about a coach, and yeah, X's and O's are important, but how do you communicate with your players? If you think you can talk to and treat all the players the same, because this is the way I do it, and it's either going to be my way or the highway, you're sadly mistaken.
Yep.
Because you look at him, Skip, I don't care what anybody says. Sanjay Lal, he can be the best wide receiver coach in football. I don't believe he's taught anything Amari Cooper didn't already know. But the biggest difference is the way Jason Garrett interacts with him when he comes to the sideline and the way they talk to him.
Comfort zone.
He's a guy, Skip, you can't berate him.
Jason Garrett is the flip side of John Gruden.
He is.
John Gruden coaches hard. He coaches mean.
Yes.
He coaches nasty.
Yes.
He coaches profane. Jason, the flip side. He's all happy. Coach clap. He's giving them a playful push when they come to the sideline.
You drop a ball, we'll get them next
get 'em next
That's
time.
okay. And you can't call the guy up, Skip. Now, when is the last time you heard a coach publicly call out a star player? Normally, they reserve that behind closed doors. Something you drop a pass, you run a wrong route, you do something wrong.
I agree. So, speaking of Jason Garrett, not a big fan, but I got to give him a big bouquet today. 4th and 1, I immediately tweeted, I'm kicking this. I mean, the best back in pro football just got obliterated on the previous play.
Right.
And to Jason Garrett's undying credit, he said, nope, I'm going for it. And he gave it back to 21. And 21 is special, I got to tell you, because Dalton Schultz, the rookie tight end, is attempting to block one of the Eagles who gets in the way.
Right.
And did Ezekiel Elliott make a nifty little sidestep move in the backfield?
The tight end did the thing he was supposed to do.
He was blocking him, but it got in the way.
He's trying to cross his face because he knows it's probably going to be inside. So now I want Malcolm Jenkins, who's on the edge, to try and stop Zeke from getting 1 yard from the position that he's in. So the tight end did an excellent job in that situation.
That became all guts and body lean. And I always say this, Ezekiel Elliott has the greatest body lean I've ever seen in a back. He is going nothing but north and no east-west. He's just going north.
But you know what, Skip? Sometimes that works to his detriment because you see Zeke in the open field, he get a lot of one-on-ones and guys are bringing him down. LaDaine, LT, and Marshall Faulk make those guys miss. That's a touchdown.
He had one where I thought he'd broken it, and I think it was Malcolm Jenkins got him by the ankle. You just got to make him miss.
Right.
If you have a full head of speed and he's stopped,
Skip, I believe the only reason Jason – see, here's something happened very interesting on a Sunday night. Jerry Jones was very critical of Jason Garrett not going for it on 4th down. He planted that seed.
Maybe.
That seed took root. Now, every time it's 4th and 1 and it's close, Skip Bayless, what happened?
Yep.
Jason Garrett is going for it. That's
true.
not an accident.
Yep. So that brings us to the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, who wrote a book after last year called Fearless.
He's fearless.
And he was fearful at the end of the game because I thought he was going for 2 yesterday when they scored with the minute 39. Am I right?
Yeah, but he knew his defense was going to hold him. Well, you're right. Well, if you know that, if you said, well, because here's the thing, a field goal beats you either way.
Yeah.
So you got to trust.
I thought he just goes for it. And I got to tell you, with the momentum they had, I thought he could make it. He's got Darren Sproles unleashed again. Nobody can stop him. I felt like he was back at Kansas State.
Well, maybe last year he probably would have, but walking to him is not playing like he did last year.
Yeah.
We will come back to this, everybody.
Fearful.
I promise. Skip, by the way, what does Ernestine do while you watch the games? Does she leave the house?
She does leave the house.
I don't blame her, because you unbearable, you unruly.
I can't even watch it with Hazel because I would terrorize the poor little girl.
That's a shame.
That was a hard game to watch. I don't know about you, but I'm hoarse, man.
And my new contract is being written up as we speak.
Yeah.
Shannon is the only guy that can bring out props.
That was the show-stopping prop of the century.
I feel like that'll come back too. It'll make its way back to the program.
You know I'm gonna get one. You know I'm gonna get a Lakers one.
It is Christmas time. Is that why miracles are happening in Miami? Or is Bill Belichick to blame for the Patriots' loss yesterday?
No.
Is it Bill? We'll discuss that coming up next. Stay right here.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first, I wanted to talk to you about one of our sponsors. If you're like me, you know that navigating the stock market can be daunting. Fortunately, there's Robinhood. Robinhood is an app that makes buying and selling stocks, options, cryptos, and more simple and intuitive. With data presented in an easy-to-digest way, Robinhood is a non-intimidating method for stock market newcomers to invest with confidence. And here's the best part. Not only is Robinhood easy to use, it's all commission-free. That's right, no commission fees. Other brokerages can charge you up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood allows you to trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Even better, Robinhood is giving Undisputed listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Just sign up at undisputed.robinhood.com. That's undisputed.robinhood.com to start investing today. Now, back to the show.
No mercy. Right now, I want Skip and Shannon to tackle this topic. The Dolphins had the play of the year to beat the Patriots yesterday. Down by 5 in the final seconds, Kenyon Drake got the ball after 2 laterals. Check this out. And made a break for the end zone. Sped past Rob Gronkowski. And the Dolphins completed what is now being dubbed as the Miami Miracle, as it should be. Take a listen to both teams after the game.
Play kind of got messed up. Kenyon was able to, I saw Kenyon there. I'm like, pitch it. He pitches it. And KD came back inside. I kind of had a great view of the whole thing. Came back inside. Then I saw him and Gronk about 10 yards away. I was like, Gronk's on the field. We got this,
It was me and Gronk, and I couldn't let Gronk tackle me in that situation.
What are you thinking when you see Gronk? He the difference between you and the touchdown.
I look sorry, Gronk. You're a great player, but I got somewhere to be. You know what I mean?
The way it ended, it sucked. Never really been a part of anything like that. I feel like it's going to test our character big time, how we bounce back from something like that. And just got to make that tackle.
All right, so number one, the Miami Miracle is now a drink that all bartenders in South Beach are concocting. They're trying to figure out what goes into it. They'll be serving it this weekend. But Shannon, who deserves the most blame for that Patriot loss?
Coach Belichick outsmarted himself, and I think Skip might have wanted that drink that they had. Skip, he outsmarted himself by inserting Gronk into the game. What he and normally they put Gronk in when there's a Hail Mary situation at the end, and they take one of their defensive backs out because Gronk is 6'6.5", and he's there to jump up and knock the ball down. But here's the thing. This is where Coach Belichick outsmarted himself. Ryan Tannehill had missed a month of the season with an injured shoulder. He had injured his ankle earlier in the game. So, Skip, what's the likelihood with that injury or those injuries, he can throw the ball 75 yards. I believe at this juncture of the season, there's one guy that can launch the ball 75 yards and get into the end zone. And he doesn't play for the Dolphins. He plays for Kansas City. That's Patrick Mahomes. What he should have done is once Coach Belichick saw the way they lined up, it's called timeout. Put the DB back in and take Gronk out. Because you want Gronk in a batted ball situation, not in a tackling situation. So, as Tannehill and Drake is explaining it, he picks up a great block from 62, Skip. His alignment threw the key block because he's way down the field, and the guy's about to tackle Drake from the side. 62 peels off, hits him, and so now Drake has a full head of steam against Gronk one-on-one. You can put Gronk in that situation 10 times, and with a full head of steam, he'll never tackle Kenyon Drake. That's not what Gronk is going to go to the Hall of Fame for. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame for catching passes, not tackling. And so in that situation, Skip, you knew he had no chance. So in that, I'm just saying this. I believe Coach Belichick outsmarted himself. But, Holly, it should have never come down to this. Because I know a guy, Skip Bayless sits on across this desk, and he's told me for the last 2 years, that's the GOAT. Where the GOAT doesn't take a sack with 14 seconds left in the half. With no timeout. He doesn't do that. His final 6 possessions. If you don't mind, Skip Bayless, because I know the people don't have the stat sheet.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. Would you stop interrupting me?
No, you just asked me.
I'm just asking.
I think you were struggling, and so I was.
No, I'm not struggling.
But
I want to tell the people at home, in the New England Patriots' last 6 possessions, with the GOAT at quarterback, they got 6 points. The GOAT got 6 points. They had 27 at the half. They got 6 more points for the game. That doesn't sound GOATish to me. That sounds like lowercase g. That sounds like they're trying to scapegoat Coach Belichick, who happens to be the GOAT of head NFL coaches. Coach Belichick outsmarted himself. But the play should have never happened because it should have never come down to this. If I got the GOAT And I got him in a situation, I couldn't believe he admitted this, because Skip Bayless told me last year when LeBron James, he didn't know there was a timeout left, Jenny. And he said, if you're the GOAT, you're supposed to know that. Tom Brady said he didn't know. I thought we had another timeout. Oh, golly gee whiz. Oh, golly gee whiz, Tom Brady didn't know you didn't have a timeout. You took a sack and you took points off the board.
Shouldn't have come down to this, Skip.
But what says you?
My turn.
It's your turn.
So, yesterday I'm watching by myself, and I have two TVs. I have one up on top, and I have one on the bottom.
Okay.
And unlike the Hall of Famer across from me, I listen to the sound on both. So I am watching Patrick Mahomes dueling with Lamar Jackson up on top, and I'm watching Tom Brady try to beat his ghosts in Miami, where it's just a house of horrors. Once again, they've lost 5 out of their last 6.
How you listen to two sound TVs?
Dude, that's a lot to process.
I just got it. I have dual hearing.
More than anything else, that's the most impressive thing I've heard today.
So, within a span of 5 real minutes, 2 things happen at once. I'm thinking, I got this, because if you remember at the end of Friday's show, I picked Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to upset Kansas City in Kansas City. And that's way out on a limb, and they've got them 24-17 because young Lamar played his young tail off in that game.
Yep.
Again, they catered to what he does best, but that will work.
Yes.
It's Tebow-esque, if you will. It's letting Lamar do what Lamar does best, but he threw the heck out of it, too, when it mattered most.
He did.
Some big third downs and a big touchdown throw, and all of a sudden, it's 24-17 Ravens. And Tom Brady has done what Tom Brady always does. He drove them for the field goal that looked like it iced the game, and it looks like with 7 seconds left in Miami, guess who's going to have the number 1 seed in the AFC all of a sudden? It looks like New England has done it again.
Yep.
They're back in the driver's seat in the AFC because they already beat Patrick Mahomes head-to-head.
Correct.
And boom, boom. Patrick Mahomes, we're going to talk about this in just a moment, he rolls out to his right, and he throws the luckiest pass I've seen since the Eli Super Bowl pass in the first Super Bowl against Brady into the middle of the field, and somehow Tyreek catches it, and all of a sudden, it's going to overtime.
That was 4th and 9 when he made that throw.
4th and 9. The game's going to be over.
It is.
It's going to be over. And then the Miami miracle happens right before my very eyes, and once again, I fall on my carpet, and I do snow angels on the carpet because I'm just saying this cannot happen. This cannot have happened on my 2 TVs within 5 clock minutes of each other. The whole AFC flipped onto its head. And now we're back to the Miami miracle. This is yet another indication, as I've been telling you again and again, I know this is pure blasphemy, Bill Belichick is losing his fastball. He is losing his genius label. Maybe he's losing some interest and some heart because he was forced to keep Tom Brady, and he was forced to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to San Francisco. I don't know. But I know for a fact this is horrendously bad, what he did, not only on the last play, but the way his defense performed in Miami yesterday is not exactly genius label defense. So back to your point. Let's stress this again. If Ryan Tannehill has a bad shoulder that he's still fighting with and a bad plant foot that has cost him some snaps in the game.
Yes.
He had to get both feet taped and came back into the game. What's his range? He's backed up to his 31, so he's going to throw it from the 21, which is where he threw the last pass from. So if he's going to throw a Hail Mary, what's his Hail Mary range?
He ain't throwing it 80 yards.
Okay, seriously.
45 yards, 50 yards top.
I wrote down maybe 60 max, but I don't think he had 60 in him yesterday.
No, sir.
50 yards, okay?
Yes.
Can he throw it to the other 30-yard line?
Yeah.
And you've put in, think about this, you put in Rob Gronkowski to defend a Hail Mary in the end zone in place of Devin McCourty. He is your defensive captain for 8 years running. Mm-hmm. He is the fastest player on your defense.
Correct.
How do you defend a lateral play at the end of the game? You need speed, right? That's the number 1 component to defend the lateral play. You don't need height. And here we get back to Gronkowski. Did you watch him yesterday? He's just broken down. He looks like a Frankenstein monster. Seriously.
Especially on that play.
He runs like Frankenstein. He can't run. He can't jump. Well, I don't want him defending even a Hail Mary because I don't think he can.
Skip, I don't know if you noticed it, but I think something happened also. I think Kyle Van Noy was supposed to to spy on Kenyon Drake.
Maybe.
And he got caught
He had
up.
a shot on the sideline and missed him. He was behind
But you
him.
look at what he did is that he lined up because he tried to fool him.
He did.
He lined up on one side,
Yep.
and Kenyon Drake waited and waited and waited. He's like, well, okay. And then he lost sight of him. And by the time he realized that Drake had slipped out, he started to chase. And once he didn't get him down, so now you're already down the tackler, and you
Right.
got a guy on the back end that's there to knock the ball down and not tackle.
So, what happens to start the play? Another one of those undrafted free agents that Belichick loves because that polishes his genius label. Because look who I found. I found Jonathan Jones, undrafted out of Auburn 3 years ago. And he's got a shot at Kenny Stills. Shannon, if he just attacks him and wraps him up as he catches the football, just wrap him up. Just wrap him up.
Yep.
He can't lateral. If he does, it's just going to be on the ground and somebody's going to recover it, right? And then that kid, J.C. Jackson, that Belichick raves about, another undrafted, he's a rookie out of Maryland. He's just running around chicken with head cut off. He doesn't know where he's going or who he's after. And then after a while, he kind of just loses focus and heart. And he doesn't chase anybody down. And it looked like the whole defense was saying, somebody else will get him. Somebody else will get him. No, Gronk's got to get him. It comes down to Gronk. Are you kidding me? And Gronk predictably just stumbles backwards, right? And I just said, this is impossible. A Bill Belichick defense just gave up a Miami Miracle that canceled out what I thought was Tom Brady's best game of the year.
Okay.
He throws for 358, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He does what he is supposed to do to get them in position to win the game. And he had thrown, did you see, I don't know if you watched all the games, but the one to Cordell. This is a rocket. The one to Cordell, if we'd see, we're seeing the end of the miracle, and I've seen enough of that. Can we stop
No, we
it?
can't see it. No,
We have
I
to
love
burn that tape. Burn it.
The Miami Miracle, the Miami Sound Machine.
Did we see it? Look at that.
Staples of
Watch
Miami.
this to Cordero. Zing! Zing! Right on the fingertips. And you know what it led to at the end of the third quarter? The great Dan Fouts, one of your fellow Hall of Famers, one of the greatest throwers of the football ever. Am I right about that?
He was.
Could we hear what he said about Tom Brady's arm strength at the end of the third quarter? This is before the collapse, obviously. Boy, that was a throw. Whew.
Under a minute to go in the third. Brady, a bullet across midfield.
Nobody ever talks about Brady's arm strength, but he has still got it. That line drive shot to Edelman before 3 Dolphins can converge on the receiver. Another big throw by Brady.
Who knew?
Skip.
That's what I've been saying all year. His velocity is at least
Did you see Brady? Did you see him have to grit his teeth? Well, if you're going to tell every quarterback, I want you to throw the ball as hard as you possibly can, everybody has an arm strength. But it's got to be flick. Look at Mahomes. It's a flick.
Every day I have to come in here and hear either you or somebody sitting right here say, age is catching up to him. He's washed up. He's diminishing skills. No, he's not. He's exactly what he always was at age 41.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If you're going to allow him to get a running start and throw the ball as hard as God will let him, everybody in the NFL will look like they have
how
arm
you have
strength.
to do it. He's still got it.
But he can't just flick it like.
You got me on the end of the first half. You got me because he had missed Hogan because he had a rusher right in his face on the previous down.
Well, hold on. I need you to slow that down. Okay. Slow it down.
You have to protect yourself. At 41, you're not going to take a kill shot right in the face. So he had to throw it too quickly, and he threw it high to Hogan, who was open along the back line. You know what?
What do you mean you're not
this
supposed
does emphasize once again what I've repeatedly told you. Tom Brady is human. That's why he's even greater than ever, because he's not on vibranium.
Are we gonna talk about those throwaways that he had?
Well, he just lives to play another.
But we criticize Aaron Rodgers.
He threw for 358 at Miami, the game that they always lose. He put them in position. He drove them for the clinching field goal. It's over.
And guess where he had lunch at? Where he had that brunch at, Skip Bayless?
Well, guess who beat him to the door?
He had
Bill Belichick.
He had eggs Benedict with a slice of ale. That would have had them ales.
Bill Belichick is overrated. And once again, Tom Brady had overcome a defense. Would you believe this? Guess what Miami had yards per play yesterday? What? Yards per play. 9.2 yards per play. Every time they snapped the ball yesterday, they got 9.2 yards.
Hold on, Skip, but you don't want to say anything. But the Dolphins was 1 for 7 on third down.
Didn't
That's
matter.
14%.
9.2
the Patriots
yards.
blocked 2 points.
Wow.
Set them up in great field position, and they ran 30 more plays.
Yep.
So who's at 30 more plays, and all you got is they got to come down to this? Where is Tom Brady? This happened on Tom Brady's watch.
Tom Brady nearly overcame Belichick once again.
And
Should have.
Coach Belichick nearly overcame him.
And Belichick got him in the end.
Tom Brady had 6 possessions with 6 points. The last 6 possessions of the game, he got 6 points. Is that goatish?
33-28, New England with 7 seconds left. That's all I know.
Out of that?
Huh?
They need a pitch. They need a pitcher of Miami Miracle in Beach. No mercy. Dak Prescott had an up and down game against the Eagles yesterday. You guys want the bad or the good first? What do you want?
Bad.
Bad? All right, that's what's in my teleprompter, so that's what we're going to go with. He had 2 interceptions and a fumble. Now the great. Dak finished with a career-high 455 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, all to Amari Cooper, of course, including the game winner. So Shannon.
Yes.
Professor, how would you grade Dak's performance?
I'm giving him a C, Skip Bayless. I'm giving him a C for the simple fact, as Holly read, he had 2 INTs and he had a fumble. So he started the game off, so he's way, way behind. Skip, he got to do extra credit. He got to do that. He got to turn on an extra assignment just to get a passing grade. Because if he doesn't do this extra assignment and he doesn't do this extra credit work, he's going to fail. He was spectacular in the fourth quarter and overtime, Skip. 17 of 20. He almost had as many yards in 25 minutes than he had in the first 45 minutes. He was, I think everything that he was in the third and in the fourth quarter and overtime is what you like about him. The resilience, the warrior mentality that, I've stunk it up for the last 3 quarters, but it doesn't matter because I'm here with an opportunity to do away with all the wrong, to all this stench that I've stunk up Cowboys Stadium with for the last 45 minutes. I can wash all that away with this deodorant I'm about to put on these Eagles. So I gave him a passing grade when it was all said and done. 17 of 20, 243, 3 touchdowns. He went from 6.2 yards per attempt to 12.2 yards attempt. Skip, he had 455 yards, but if you look at that game, he could have easily broken Norm Van Brocklin's record of 554 if he hit 1 or 2 of those deep throws. So I did give him a passing grade because he was starting in such a deficit with the way he stunk it up the first 3 quarters. There's no way I thought he could ever even get to a passing grade. But I'm going to give him a C because what he was able to do in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Usually, Holly, I give his grades on Dak an F. I give his grade an F because he often gives Dak an F. But after I tossed and turned on this one, and as I look back at one of my tweets late in the game in which I tweeted, I cannot and will not defend this from my quarterback because I can't and I won't. I'm barely above you this time.
What?
I'm C+. And the only reason I put the plus on my C is because the fourth quarter and the overtime numbers aren't just good, they're all-time great.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yep.
all-time great.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat 17 of 20 for 243 in the fourth quarter and overtime. That is Brady-esque. That's what Tom Brady, remember, Tom Brady threw for 246 in the Super Bowl comeback against Atlanta. That was in fourth quarter and overtime.
Correct.
246. Dak, 243 with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions.
3 touchdowns.
That's right. 3 touchdowns. I shorted him one because he got one in overtime.
Right.
That's right. 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Yet, I cannot defend the first interception, even though it was a really good play by Rasul Douglas.
Right.
But you just can't. You got to see it and anticipate it or throw it. If he'd thrown it 2-3 yards farther, maybe it connects with Amari in the end zone. Maybe. And then the second interception is just a disaster. It just made me just want to puke, seriously. Because Michael Gallup is wide open, and he missed him by 10 yards high.
did.
I don't know what got into him. I have no idea. The sack fumble is unconscionable. It's what you said all week. You just can't do that, and you certainly can't do it in that moment. He missed measly Beasley with a little 5-yard flip that cost them 4 points because they had to take a field goal. And then I don't know how many times he missed Michael Gallup, although Gallup seems to lose the ball in the lights there or the sun or whatever he's losing the ball in because he didn't see half of them. But he's open repeatedly, and then Amari is wide open with 58 seconds left. You have to cash that.
Right.
That's just, you cash it in, we're not having this conversation. In fact, I'm standing on the table like applauding because it would look like Super Bowl, here we come. But he missed that throw, and he missed it badly long. So the truth is, The Dallas Cowboys should have won this game 5 different times and put it away easily.
Yes.
And instead, Dak Prescott dug the hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Right.
And then I tweeted another tweet. I said, Dak, you have been challenged. Are you a man or are you a mouse? Because you've been playing like a mouse. Are you that warrior that we saw at Washington, we've seen repeatedly in fourth quarters? And guess what? He was.
Right.
He dug them out of the hole.
Right.
Now, I'm going to give Amari more credit on the 75-yarder because he's going against that kid, Devontae Basby. I don't even know who he is. He's just some guy that they picked up off the street. I don't know. Maybe he was in the stands before the game.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he's out there, and then he's got a hamstring issue or something. I don't know. I think he lost his confidence. And then they put him back in the game. And the throw to Amari on the 75-yarder, that's just Amari finding the ball and Basby not being able to locate, right? Because it's not a great throw. It's just up for grabs.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give Dak all this credit for digging them out the hole, considering he dug the hole that they were in to begin with.
He dug it. Only him.
Yeah.
The defense was not stellar in the fourth quarter, but after a while, you know what? Look, the Philadelphia Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs. And you know what? Their defensive front, it was valiant yesterday. Michael Bennett, we've had him on the show a couple times.
Yeah, he bowled up.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he not?
Yeah, he did.
All of them did. They battled. Think how long they were on the field.
But it's really hard and it gets really frustrating is that you're almost there. And then you look up and you see Amari Cooper running for 75 yards. You look up and you see him on a 28-yard touchdown because your secondary is so inadequate. And that's what happens, Skip. They've had guys go down, and now you have third, fourth, fifth guys that you really want to only see on the field on special teams. Now you're counting on them to play heavy defensive minutes. And it didn't take Dak Prescott long to find those guys. It seems like when you Skip, when you put an outfield in there for a replacement, seems like the baseball always finds it. It seems like, I was wondering where you went. They moved you to the other side. Here you go, Amari. Take this one to the house. Oh, they got your backup in because they ended up benching 22. I forget his name. They ended up benching him because they like, bro, you're not even trying out there.
I thought they benched 41 too, and then he got back in the game. I don't know what happened.
But Skip,
they're down to third and fourth string guys.
You only go into the game with so many DBs, so somebody's got to play, even though they're playing like trash. Somebody has to be out there. And Amari says, I don't care. Skip, when you're feeling it like Amari had it going yesterday, it didn't matter. You better have a Deion Sanders because he has that confidence. And like you said, the ball is not going to hit the ground when it comes in. If it gets tipped up, he's going to find it. And if he's open by a step, he's going to come down with the throw. He's got it going that good. He's playing as good as any receiver is in football right now. And he's showing you why the Raiders selected him with the 4th overall pick. But this right here, I wish I could give Dak an A, but considering how bad he played in the first 3 quarters, Skip, because really, it should not even come down to fourth quarter in overtime. Had he played halfway decent, if he had played C football, Skip, in the first 3 quarters, we're not even having this discussion. He's an 8, and it's not even close.
But when the money was on the table in the overtime, he drives them 13 plays, 75 yards, and eats 8 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. And I thought they had a chance to run the whole overtime out and get down to the goal line.
Right.
It looked like that's where they were heading. And instead, did he get a little bit of a lucky tip up in the air to Amari at the end? Did they get lucky that on the opening kickoff, that the fumble wasn't given to the Eagles?
Right.
Yeah, they got lucky all game long. They got all kinds of luck going on. But in the end, that last drive, that was special. So I increased Dak's grade to C++.
No.
C++.
No.
He gets 2 plus.
No.
I think it's a B-, but I don't know.
Okay. C++ equals B-.
C.
I better not do that.
Just go ahead and give him a C.
I better stay with that.
Just go ahead and give him a C. This is why you couldn't be an instructor. So you easily swayed.
I went to Vanderbilt.
I don't care. I went to Savannah State.
Yeah, but you majored in what?
Eligibility.
Yeah.
What, Skip?
Well, grading on the curve. You never got graded this hard.
Yes, I did.
Or you would have flunked right out of Savannah State.
No, they was like Mr. Sharpe. They was like, why don't you all use like Mr. Sharpe? I was studious.
Studious?
Yeah, look at those glasses.
No,
of course he is.
Professor was whispering, he's really good at
No.
Yeah.
He's an amazing athlete.
Well, I did have a
Talented.
professor did tell tell the class that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he can play football. Oh, okay. So I'm going to give him a passing grade.
No, he didn't.
Pass
He
fail.
told me
That's what I
that.
said.
Okay.
Dr. Welch, who was one of my law professors, and he said he called me out in the hallway. He said, "Mr. Sharpe," he's like, "Son, I've watched you play." He said, "Son, you going to the NFL? Just come to class and do a little work."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, you got that kind of confidence." I wanted to show him that I could do the work.
Yeah.
I got an A.
You got an A?
Got an A.
And you probably never went to
And he
another
went
I went to class because I liked him.
showed up on exam day.
The professor that I liked.
It's all right, working the system. All right. Speaking of showing up in the clutch, did Pat Mahomes clinch the MVP yesterday? Is it over? We'll discuss that coming up next.
No mercy.
The Chiefs get all they could handle yesterday from the Ravens. Kansas City was down by 7 late in the fourth when Pat Mahomes hit Tyreek Hill for 48 yards on fourth down. And 4 plays later, Mahomes threw his second touchdown pass of the game to tie it up. Then he led the Chiefs on a 10-play drive to set up the go-ahead field goal in overtime, and the Chiefs improved to 11-2. It's a lot to process, a lot to read there, Shannon, but how impressive was Pat Mahomes yesterday?
Skip, this was very, very impressive. And on the game-tying touchdown drive, he had to complete 2 fourth-down plays. And sometimes MVPs are about moments. And this was his moment. I believe he's taken a commanding lead in the MVP race, especially given against what he did it against. The Baltimore Ravens, statistically, was the #1 scoring defense and the #1 total yardage defense. So they, from top to bottom, they were #1. And he went and got 377 yards passing and hung 27 points on them. That's to be commended because we saw what happened when Drew Brees played Dallas. We saw what happened with Jared Goff last night when they played the Bears. These are very comparable defenses. All these are top 5 defenses. The Baltimore Ravens statistically is #1. And Pat Mahomes, Skip, he made throws yesterday. There's only one other quarterback in all the NFL that can make those throws that he made yesterday. He resides up in Green Bay. We're going to talk about him a little later. Because he was for number 102. And given the circumstances, but here's the thing, Skip Bayless, you said this a little earlier. What Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were up against. They lose this game, guess what? Tom Brady was 14 seconds away from being the #1 seed in the AFC. Not only if they lose this game, guess what happens Thursday? The Chargers go to Kansas City. They win that game. Now, all of a sudden, the Chargers are in front of the division.
Yep.
So all that hard work, the heavy lifting they had done thus far would have been for naught. Because the Chargers would have taken over the division, and now the New England Patriots are the #1 seed in the AFC. But Patrick Mahomes says, no, I've done too much heavy lifting. I've come too far to see this thing go away. Skip, did you see these throws? Did you see these throws on fourth down? No, it's not
your
your turn.
to go? I'll go.
Skip, the man, he made one throw. He's looking like this here. He's looking straight ahead. And the DB said, oh, I'm about to get this pick. No, you're not. Hit. Ooh, Skip, he was dealing. Is he a magician? How did he do this? Skip, look at this throw right here. Oh, that's butter. That's that G butter. That's that good butter. Healthy. Oh, look at that throw, Skip. Oh. And this one right here, Skip, that's 40 yards. That's 40 yards. 40. Look at this. That's a 4th and 3, Skip. Very impressive. Again, my guy is in the what, Skip? You like to say it in the catbird seat for that MVP. Say it ain't so, Skip.
Whatever the catbird seat.
Say it ain't so.
You ever seen a catbird?
Yeah, I've seen the old catbird.
Have you?
Yeah, me and Mahomes in the catbird seat.
You
right
got
now.
a pet catbird, don't you? My turn. I don't know what happened, Holly. I got to get a new TV. I saw a whole different game yesterday.
Okay,
I
what'd
don't
you
know.
see?
I had it on the wrong channel. I don't know.
2 at once.
Maybe I was watching 2 and they blurred together.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay.
I saw, believe it or not, I saw a rookie named Lamar Jackson outplay Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, in the cold in Kansas City, and Lamar's from Miami.
You saw that?
Yeah, it was a Miami miracle in Kansas City. It was in Kansas City in the cold. Lamar Jackson had a 69 QBR and Patrick Mahomes had a 63, 69 to 63. And would you believe that Lamar Jackson had the Baltimore Ravens, their offense in position to win the game 24-17 with 1 minute and 29 seconds left?
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes, he was flinging it all over the lot, and sometimes Travis Kelce was making circus catches, making him look a lot better than he deserved to look.
No, don't do this.
But what I saw was Patrick Mahomes broke contain, scrambled to his right. It's 4th and 9. The game, the season, everything's on the line. He's running, and Sedarius Smith is virtually unblocked from the backside and is full speed ahead and chasing him down. And I think he's going to run him out of bounds or clock him at the sideline. And at the last second, Patrick Mahomes closes his eyes, and it was okay.
Stop thinking that was an Eli Manning play, because it wasn't.
He pulled off the luckiest throw since Eli Manning stuck a throw in David Tyree's face mask to beat Tom Brady in the first Eli Brady Super Bowl. I've never seen anything quite like it. He just heaves it up for grabs. He throws it into the middle of the field. He has no idea where the football's going.
Oh, yes, he does.
And there are 3 Ravens who are in catch range of the football. Like, they've all got shots. It's like 50-50. 3 guys have a 50-50 shot, and 1 red guy has a 50-50 shot, and he's about 5 feet 9 inches tall, and his name is Tyreek Hill, and he's probably the fastest man in football.
Yep.
And somehow Tyreek finds the ball before anybody else could find it and positions himself under it like it's a punt. He should have just fair caught it, but it comes right down in his breadbasket. And I again fall on the floor because that's an impossible throw to pull off without some luck or some prayer. I don't know if it was divine intervention. I've never seen anything like it.
But think about
it changed everything, and it won the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to say it was 90% luck. I'm going to give it 90%.
No, Skip, here's the thing. What makes this so impressive is that he had to go get the game-time touchdown against statistically the number 1 defense in football. Look at what Lamar Jackson was going in. When we think of Kansas City, you keep telling me that he's putting up all these numbers. Yeah, because his defense is bad. His defense is not the Baltimore Ravens. So this is what Patrick Mahomes had to go against. Can you imagine if Patrick Mahomes was going against the Kansas City defense?
Yep.
He probably would have thrown 6 touchdowns. So for him, now over his last 2 games, Patrick Mahomes, 336 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yep.
Drew Brees over his last 6 games, 164, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So we can see what has transpired. These teams, 2 guys played 2 very good defenses, 2 top 5 defenses. 1 guy's crumble, succumb to the pressure. You have to understand also, Skip Bayless, although this is his 2nd year, this is really his 1st year starting. So Patrick Mahomes is really a rookie, but he's been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So, Holly, all year long, as we discussed college football, this man kept telling me, Tua, it's over. He's going to win the Heisman. Just case closed. Stop it. I don't want to hear anything else. He's running away with the Heisman. And I kept saying, do not write off Kyler Murray. I said it again and again and again and again and again. And you know what the outcome was. Once again, I'm going to dig in on this one. Do not write off Drew Brees for MVP, because would you believe this? If you look at their overall QBR for the year, and it's just like Kyler Tua, I kept saying Kyler's got the higher QBR. Drew Brees is in front in QBR right now, 84.5 to 83.6 for Patrick Mahomes. So he's still about 0.9 of a point ahead in QBR. And the last time I checked, there are 3 games to go. It didn't end yesterday. Yeah. You know that. So, again, Drew Brees has got Carolina on a Monday night. That'll be a big stage. I'm sure ESPN's going to give Drew a big build-up send-off, right?
Yep.
There'll be a big case made. He's never won an MVP. He's about to turn 40 years of age, and the narrative will rear its ugly head to you once again, because you're going to have to fight that narrative. And they've got Carolina, then they got Pittsburgh at home. We don't know what's going to be left of the Steelers after Tom Brady gets finished with them next week in Pittsburgh. But they do have Pittsburgh, and then they finish with Carolina at home. So could he put up some numbers in those games? He sure could. But your kid's he's got a chance. He's got a big Thursday night game here on Fox against the Chargers. It'll be a shootout. He has a chance to put up big numbers. He also has a chance to throw big interceptions in that game, because the Chargers have the best cornerback in all of pro football named Casey Hayward from Vanderbilt University. Thank you very much. And this is going to be interesting. I don't think you can throw prayers up against this defense, or they will put them in their back pocket.
But we've seen him already. He started the season in Kansas City, threw for 4 touchdowns.
Yep, he
it's
did.
One of the handful of games that he's been actually 300 yards
But the
fast.
Chargers were your pick to get to the Super Bowl, and they have found themselves and caught fire. Am I right about that? And then the kid still, Mahomes has to go to Seattle. That's a Sunday night game. It'll be cold. It'll be interesting. It'll be sky high Seattle.
This is why Andy liked him, because he has the arm talent that can cut through any element. Rain, snow, cold, sleet. It gets cold in Kansas City. And plus, they're going to have to go to Denver at some point in time. I'm saying not now. They've already played them. But it gets cold in Denver also. And Andy knew he needed a strong arm, powerful quarterback that elements will not come into play when they play him.
So the kid has been on a magic carpet ride.
It ain't no magic carpet ride.
It's been a magic carpet ride. Everything that could go right went right for this kid, except Tom Brady got him in New England. But what happened with 6:18 left in overtime yesterday, if we could see the final break play that this kid got, he rolls to his left and he just loses the football. And it's on the ground, and I'm saying just fall on it. You got this. You remember this play?
I remember it,
Yeah. I'm not sure we have this play.
I don't think we got it good.
Oh, we don't have this play, but it's a fun. The ball's just sitting, and my man T Sizzle, Terrell Suggs.
There we go.
There we go. No, that's another wild play, but that's a good interception.
Hey, we're trying.
Oh, here we go. Up, I lost the football. Suggs, what are you doing?
He tried to follow it, he couldn't. Look at this.
Oh, that was a good throw. I love that. Yeah, you're going to see some of that against the Chargers.
He does it. Listen. He has a lot of Brett Favre in him. And the thing is with Brett is that he made a lot of plays like that. But every team that I've ever played for that played against Brett Favre, he's going to make his plays. But he's going to give us an opportunity to make ours. Just like he's going to make his, when the opportunity presents itself, you make sure we make ours.
I would agree. And just like Favre, I know when the Cowboys used to play him, they would always say, he'll throw you 3, but you have to be ready to catch him because they're going to come at 105 miles an hour.
That is correct.
And that's the problem. If he's going to no-look throw 102 over here, you better be ready to get your hands on it, right?
But would you say my guy's in the catbird seat?
No, I would not.
I don't know what that is.
Skip! He's 12 touchdowns clear.
I told you, Tua wasn't in the catbird seat, and neither is this kid.
Now, guess what? Andrew Luck has passed Drew Brees for touchdowns.
Really?
Yeah.
My team has to go deal with Andrew Luck next Sunday.
No, he comes to y'all, right?
No, it's up there.
Oh, Andrew. Oh, yeah.
You got this?
Oh, yeah.
You want another case on that one?
When they play?
This coming Sunday.
Oh, yeah, Andrew got this.
Really?
Andrew got this.
Well, you're now 7 more cases down, so you're down 17 cases. Do you want one back?
Skip, why you keep giving me one? I'll never get them back.
Well, I'm just.
Oh, we got to move on.
We got to do like at least 2.
We have to.
Okay.
2 cases,
I might do 2.
And Andrew Luck outplays Dak for another one, so that'd be 3.
And I'll take the points.
Amari Cooper single-handedly made the Cowboys a contender. I've lost complete control, obviously. Stick around. We discuss that coming up next. Greg Jennings.
No mercy.
Happy Monday. Welcome back to Undisputed. Glad to have you with us this morning. Amari Cooper led the Cowboys to an overtime win over the Eagles yesterday, and we're now joined for some insight by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Greg, what up? Number 1, how's your golf game? And 2, how much has Cooper meant to the Cowboys?
Golf game is not
Struggling?
present right now. At the club.
Well, it's snowed in, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper, he means everything to this Dallas Cowboy organization and team. When you listen to what Jason Garrett has said about Amari Cooper, he brings confidence, swagger, just everything that they were lacking offensively at the skill position. And why does a wide receiver mean so much? Because when you have a running back like Ezekiel Elliott, who now is going to see less guys in the box for 4 quarters because you have that threat, that number 1 elite threat at receiver, you're going to open up everything. You see a Dak Prescott with more confidence, even though we know he's throwing the ball to Amari Cooper. Now you have to stop it. There was a point in this game when Amari Cooper said after in this post conference, he said, I broke the huddle and the play was a stop route. I had a stop route.
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, come on, are you kidding me? And this is where the change has been made. This is why he's become invaluable, because now he can look at a quarterback who we understand and know that's the alpha male on that team. May not be the best player on the team, but he's the alpha male.
He is.
And he looks at him and he changes, you know what, let's go. Dak Prescott would not have done that with anyone else.
Nope.
Not Dez Bryant, no one else. But because he understands what I have in the Amari Cooper and what his potential is of playmaking ability, I have to give him a chance. Yep. I must give him a chance. And when you look at elite wide receivers, what do? They make everyone around them better. Yep. we see a young Michael Gallup starting to shine a little bit more and emerge, being overthrown a little bit. And I think a lot of that, everyone's going to say that's Dak. It's a little bit of Michael Gallup, too, learning how to run when he's open with his eyes looking back to the ball. But he is creating opportunity for everyone. And most importantly, what I've noticed, we haven't talked about play calling. We haven't talked about that offense at all in a negative light. All because you got one guy on the perimeter who can create separation, get off the ball, get off the line of scrimmage, and beat any defender that you put over him if you fail to put two guys on him like the Philadelphia Eagles did. So Amari Cooper means everything to this Dallas team.
I agree with everything you just said. And what he does is that he forces other receivers to step their game up. Now they can't hide it. That cloak is unveiled because you know Amari Cooper, if he gets single coverage, they're throwing the ball to him. He gets double covered. Now all of a sudden, guys, you're getting one-on-one and you're going against second and third options. So you must win. The difference between him and every other receiver that was on this roster, Skip, he can throw it to Michael Gallup and he catch it, get you 15 yards. He can throw it to Cole Beasley. He get you a first down of 7 to 8 yards. Amari Cooper, you throw it to him, he's a threat every time to hit his head on the goalpost.
He is.
That's the difference between number ones and everybody else, all the other receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
You put the ball in their hands, they can get home. They can strike pay dirt from anywhere on the field. He's playing with such supreme confidence. Look, and I said this, Greg, I don't think Amari Cooper all of a sudden, he got better when he went to Dallas.
No.
He's happier. He has coaches that know how to talk to him. He wants to prove to Oakland Raiders. Oh, y'all thought I was done. I'm inconsistent. How you like this consistency?
And he's being featured. He's their feature guy. Oakland wanted to feature Jared Cook.
Yeah.
True.
So he's like, okay, I'm gonna show you what and you said this, we called a stop right, like, stop! Man, you better give me something to go down the field. No other receiver. Even Daz, when Daz was a top dog and he was making all the money, he could say, you better give me another route. Hey, that's what they call, I'm running this. They called a stop right. He's like, hey, what you want, Amari? When the guy running hot, feed him. Hey, Skip, you know how you do it when the fire going good, you keep throwing logs on it. I don't know if you know, I grew up with a fireplace, we have no we throw logs, that thing burning all night, Skip. This dude running hot, keep feeding him.
AC, you got to turn on the AC.
Yeah,
it's
man,
hot
cool.
her, right? It is.
And he hollered, cool.
I just gave a little shout out to my man Nelly.
No doubt.
He texted me.
It get hot here?
Yeah. So, I'm going to go a step farther than either of you two went. This young man, and he is still a young man at age 24, which is stunning to me.
It's unbelievable.
I know. He has become even more valuable than 21 has. And I'm talking about Ezekiel Elliott. And I know you say they go as 21 goes, right, and you have been right about that to a point. All of a sudden, they're going as 19 goes. 19's opening up everything for 21 a lot. He's making 4 look a lot better than 4 often looks. And the thing that just astounds me about 19, about Amari Cooper, is he's the unwide receiver, and I'm glad you're here to comment on this because I thought you were too. You were a fine young man when you first emerged in Green Bay, and you didn't have a lot of stuff to your game. You didn't have a lot of bells and whistles. You were not a diva wide receiver to me, and this kid, he's still a kid, there's no diva in him at all. He has no touchdown celebration routine. He doesn't have a first down routine. He doesn't do any of this. He doesn't do any of that. Like Michael Irvin, we got the great Michael Irvin coming on here a little bit later. Michael would catch a first down, and he's just throwing the hand up. Amari Cooper he's reserved, he's quiet, he's introspective, he's introverted, he's the unwide receiver. I've never seen anything quite like him except for you, and you were more outgoing than he is to me, and you were more of a team spokesman. Amari speaks when spoken to, and once he has a big game, he will speak to the media, and he'll be very good but not great with the media because he's not colorful or entertaining or particularly sensationally spoken, but he'll tell you what he thinks.
Right.
And he doesn't lack for confidence, but you watch after he makes a big play, he just goes and sits by himself on the bench. He just goes and sits by himself.
Skip,
Right, well, what are you doing? You're supposed to be a diva, right? You deserve to be a diva. Am I right?
Yes. Skip, I think the thing that Gruden made the mistake of, a lot of times when we see people that are quiet, we think they're soft.
Yeah, well, he did.
And
he thought he wasn't his.
Right.
He didn't run with his RPM.
No, this is who he is.
And you know what? His speed is subtle speed. It's effortless speed.
Yeah.
But it's big time
he transitions
speed
really
now.
well.
Woo.
I mean, he get in and out of break, and he's running again.
Yeah. But
like Sharpe. Like
Yeah.
his routes. To your point, really quick, the reason why he is more valuable than Ezekiel Elliott, because when Ezekiel had success, they still could lose. When you add an Amari Cooper and his success, it doesn't just make them offensively better. Defensively, it makes them better because now they're going to sustain drives and hold on to the ball even more. And then that defense, they're playing 25 or less minutes every game. Yep. They're fresh. They're getting off the field. They're making plays. Keep going, Skip.
Okay, but he's the un-Dez. Dez took no pride in running precise routes. He took pride in snatching jump balls out of midair.
Right.
This young man is so precision-oriented. He takes great pride in stopping and starting on dimes. He's exactly where he's supposed to be.
His transition is good as they have in the NFL right now.
It is. It's hard, and it's hard to defend, man.
Greg, I was telling you, what you need to be a great route runner is patience. You must believe that, I know he's inside, but guess what? I'm going to
get in there.
I'm going to get there. And you can't rush it because a lot of times, a guy lines up inside and you end up angling and then you're all the way across the floor and the quarterback can't give you the ball. And he said it, but the one thing that I liked about what he did, Skip, a lot of time on a slant route, we see guys, when the guy lines up inside and he jets inside, you stop. He said, I got to cross his face. Now, Dak did put the ball behind him a little bit and it popped up and he made the catch. But you got to start. You can never stop on a slant route because we've seen that a lot of times the quarterback throws, the receiver pulls up, and the quarterback hits the DB in the chest, and everybody blames the quarterback. No. This kid is smooth. He can get in and out of breaks. He reminds you a lot of the Jimmy Smith and the Keenan McCarthy's, and I know people don't know those guys.
No, but you studied those guys.
Yes. I took those guys off Henry Ellard, my brother.
Yes.
They were
route runners. Perfected route runners who trust that I'm going to make it work.
Yep.
Period. And when you stand at that line of scrimmage and you see that there's an inside leverage and you know your route is taking you in there. But you have the supreme confidence and trust in your own ability. At this point, you got to be prideful. You got to say, whatever I do, I know I can beat this guy. I just have to sell it and trust that my skill set is more supreme than that leverage.
Is definitely going to be.
100%. Because if you run that route, and you talk about patience, Amari Cooper has elevated number 4 more than what we will see any receiver elevate number 4 because of his patience in route running and his ability to separate once he's at the top of that route.
And number 4 enjoys playing with 19.
Yes.
They enjoy vibing off each other, and he did not enjoy playing off 88.
You see, Skip, a lot of these top-level quarterbacks, they don't need a number 1.
Yeah.
But when you're building a young quarterback's confidence, he needs a number 1. He needs a guy he can trust. I can get him the ball. Oh, he's going to go hit his head on the goal.
And another real quick point. When he makes a play or he doesn't make a play, or Dak makes a play or he doesn't make a play, neither one of them are going to show each other up. It's like, you know what? We didn't make it happen. You didn't make the throw. I didn't make the catch. Let's try to do it again. I'm not going to give you any crazy eye contact.
Right.
I'm not going to get any antics on the sideline. We're just going to make it work. You need that.
But watch Dak when it's someone else. He'll do this.
He does. He was doing it to the kid Gallup. He's saying, you got to find the ball.
He understands that number 19, you can't do that with him. So he knows. So that you pick that up early.
Yep.
Greg, thanks for joining us. And Skip, you say he's not a diva. Have you seen him in wardrobe? Not a diva. Look at this floral pocket square he's got working. I'm fighting him in makeup.
He doesn't flaunt it, though.
No diva. No diva.
You got to flaunt it. That's right. That's right. Greg, always appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
All right. Joining us next, a very special guest. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm reading the teleprompter completely wrong, but that's all right. That's what we do here. It's live TV.
We got Aaron Rodgers coming in?
No, actually.
You better
no,
run.
we don't. That's the wrong cheese. But Aaron Rodgers did set a record yesterday.
He
How
did?
impressed
He
are
did?
Skip and Shannon?
Really?
Another one?
No mercy. Aaron Rodgers threw for under 200 yards yesterday and was almost picked off in the second quarter, but he still managed to set a record. Yeah, Rodgers passed Tom Brady for the most consecutive passes without an interception in NFL history. He set the record on a touchdown pass to Randall Cobb, and the Packers got the W. So, Skip, is this record a big deal or nah? What do you think?
It would be a big deal if it contributed to actually winning football
It
games.
did.
Oh, it did yesterday.
Okay.
That upped Green Bay's record to 5-7-1. That's stunning. That's really impressive, Shannon. I'm going to say it again. Aaron Rodgers has perfected the art of taking little to no risk on any throw. If it's not clearly there, he won't even try to throw it there, because he is now already, 3 games ago, he set the all-time record for throwaways. So if it's not there, he just throws it away. He still gets sacked at a high rate, but if he doesn't love the throw, he just throws it away, which contributes to the fact that he's 25th in the NFL in completion percentage, Aaron Rodgers is. And would you believe that yesterday he had his best QBR of the season, and he still ranks 19th overall in QBR? In that game that he had yesterday, his best of the year, ranks 101st of quarterback games played this year in the NFL. That's horrible. And by the way, need I bring up the fact that Aaron Rodgers, just before he broke Tom Brady's hallowed record.
That's what you upset about.
Well, he hit Deion Jones right. He completed one to Deion Jones, who plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Hit him right in the chest.
And what happened?
Yeah, he dropped it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess he was just shocked that Aaron Rodgers even tried to throw a pass in anybody's direction and vicinity of a defender, right? Hit him right in the chest. Wow. That's interesting. So the point is, this is what just stuck in my craw yesterday.
What?
As soon as he broke this record, all of a sudden that story trends to the top on ESPN.com. And I'm not taking a shot at ESPN here because it's being clicked on by thousands of blind witnesses. They're blind witnesses because Aaron Rodgers is the LeBron James of the National Football League.
Don't do that,
And they're
Skip.
clicking and they're clicking. Wow, did you see what Aaron did? Did you see? Did you see? Did you see? Click, 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 click.
Hold on, Skip.
And wait a second. Yesterday, Tom Brady broke the all-time record for touchdown passes. Broke it.
No, they didn't.
And it was a footnote. Nobody even cared because the Brady hate just radiates.
That ain't no record.
Yep.
Then now all of a sudden you want to combine
It's a
playoffs and
record.
regular season. Regular season.
Who cares? He did it. Nobody in the history of football has thrown more touchdown passes than Tom Brady has in an NFL uniform. Nobody. And does anybody make a big deal? No, because everybody hates Tom Brady.
No one has rushed for more yards than Emmitt Smith in playoffs and regular season combined. That's not a record. They're separate. So let's keep them separate.
Is it not an achievement?
Well, we're talking about
not a feat?
When he breaks Peyton Manning record, if he beats Drew Brees to that, then we'll talk. But until then, it's my turn. So you should cease to talk. Thank you. The question was, is this a big deal? I'm going to say no, not really, Skip, because
Really? Will you agree with me?
there's a lot of luck that went into this because there were several opportunities throughout the course of the regular season that this record could have been snapped. And the actual throw that broke the record should not have happened because he should have gotten picked by Deion Jones on the play before. But, caveat, 23-1 is nothing to laugh at. Because here's the thing. Holly, I don't know if you know this. Did you know that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have the exact number of passing yards? 3,700. But also, did you know that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers also have the same number of touchdown passes? 23. But what you didn't know is that Aaron Rodgers has 7 fewer interceptions while being sacked 21 more times. You see what we've done here? Somehow we see when we want to make proper old Tom up, we say the team look real good. The team, look at his team.
What should the team's record be in New England right now? It should be 10-3, right?
No, they should have lost to my homeboy.
Huh?
Oh yeah. So
but wait, Tom Brady threw for 182 in the fourth quarter to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes had like 700 yards passing. But this is not a Tom Brady. Look, Skip Bayless. At some point in time, you got to give you're watching greatness. The greatest thrower of the football that's ever stepped onto an NFL
Really?
field.
5-7-1?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it translate into the scoreboard?
But you make my point.
Is it a
Because
beauty? If it were a beauty contest, it would be over. Aaron Rodgers would have 8 rings, 10 rings.
Sometimes, no matter how great your quarterback is, if the team around him isn't very good, this is what happens. Because you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers is 23-1. One guy has lost 4 games, the other guy has lost 7 games. You see what happens, Skip Bayless? So stop with this. And then, Aaron Rodgers is terrible. Oh, he's having an off year. Really?
Well, he is.
No.
19th in QBR with a 58.
But
that's halfway. It's 0 to 100.
But right before the end of the half, end of the first half, we saw Tom Brady deliberately throw the ball away, and nobody gave it a passing thought. I didn't hear anybody say, well, he threw that away. Aaron Rodgers throws one away to avoid a sack or not to get an interception. Oh, he's just throwing it away. He doesn't want to take a chance. Really? Really?
Well, he doesn't. If he took chances, what did Tom Brady say 2 weeks ago? I need to try to take more risk. I need to try to be a little more aggressive.
I thought we reward quarterbacks. I thought we heap praises on quarterback for not putting the ball in harm's way. When your 4.22 touchdown to interception ratio, which is the greatest by far in NFL history, shouldn't we commend you for that?
I guess so. I was ready to commend one George Kittle yesterday because do you realize
what?
At halftime,
I know you wanted
he was right on pace to set the record, the all-time tight end receiving record. Would you believe that the great George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers had 7 catches for 210 yards at halftime? And Shannon Sharpe's all-time record was in jeopardy. And guess what happened in the second half?
What happened?
Nothing. George Kittle didn't catch a ball in the second half. I don't know. Did you make a call to John Lynch and say, you got to protect my record. You got to save me. You got to help me.
Well, I didn't play.
George Kittle caught no balls in the second half. And so Shannon Sharpe's record of 214 yards set in 2002 when he was an old man, an old 44-year-old, right?
Yes.
At Kansas City against Dick Vermeil's Chiefs. Am I right?
Yeah.
Including an 82-yarder. I don't know how you were in shape enough to make it to the goal line. 82 yards.
Skip,
you believe in it?
Obviously, I was not watching this game, but my timeline was blowing up, talking about, man, this dude about to smash your record.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? I said, so I'm thinking he has 150-something yards.
He's got 210 at halftime.
So I'm calling everybody. I call my sister. I say, hey,
it's over?
Buck, he about, like, how many yards he got? 7 for 210. She was like, well, he had the record. I like, that's no consolation. Called my homeboy. And lo and behold, I'm looking like they're taking a knee. I check back, they're taking a knee. And I scroll down and I was like, he still got 210.
210.
He had 1 target.
Yeah.
Oh, Shay Sharpe save again.
Yeah.
But he wasn't supposed to get it. That record's supposed to get broken by, a Kelsey or somebody.
I know, not George Kittle. Come on.
But Skip, he's having an unbelievable season.
He is. No, I agree.
He's slayed his tail off.
Yeah.
So I get to live with that. I get to hold it for one more week.
Yep.
One more week.
What I want to do right now is I want the greatest receiver in the history of pro football to come right out here.
Oh, I'm already up here.
The greatest receiver ever is in our house right now.
And you
Here
shall receive Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
No mercy. Our next guest is Hall of Famer and 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys. You can see him on NFL Network's Game Day Kickoff on Thursday before the big Chiefs-Chargers game. You recognize his voice already. It's Michael Irvin. Welcome to Undisputed.
Michael.
For the very first time, right?
Yes.
Oh.
And what a good time.
What a good time. A great time.
To be here.
I was praying yesterday, not for the Cowboys, but for Michael Irvin, because I did not want him to come in here off a loss.
I did.
Right?
I was praying with you. God heard us.
God heard us. And I want to say that I covered this man when he was a Dallas Cowboy, and he was the rocket fuel of teams that should have won 4 straight Super Bowls. Am I right about that? Maybe 5.
I got to give
know.
you love, Skip. Yeah. I really do. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here with you, man. And I appreciate you having my back like that. I watch you all the time, Skip. I see you, B.B. I say, Skip, I say, way to be on my back like that. I like you, buddy. You my man, Skip.
Are we done?
Let's get this thing right around here.
We're growing out over here. This is amazing. Michael, what was the biggest reason for the Cowboys' win yesterday?
Listen, let me tell you something. I talked about this, and I'm saying this now. Here's why we see the Cowboys doing what they are doing. Because they have found more ways to win football games. At the beginning of the year, At the beginning of the year, everybody stacked the line of scrimmage and they said, let's stop Ezekiel Elliott. And that killed us. That hurt us. They were run blitzing everybody. Now, man, we'll beat you with Amari Cooper. We can beat you with great defense. Amari Cooper beat the Redskins. Great defense beat the Saints. And they all came together yesterday to beat them damn Eagles. That's what I'm talking about. It's coming together, and it's coming together at the right time. Who cares about they won 11 games in a row? Doesn't matter. It's winning at the right time, and the Cowboys are winning at the right time. Shannon, you can speak the truth, and we can shame these devils around here right now.
Your day coming. Go ahead, Skip. This is your time. You got your boy here. I know you want to.
Mr. Irvin, talk me through this.
Skip, you my man.
Nobody loves number 4 more than I love Dak Prescott, but he drives me out of my mind. Yesterday, he had me on the floor. He had me in tears. He had me ready to burn my Dak jersey. He threw 2 interceptions. He lost another sack fumble. He missed Amari with 58 seconds left. It's the clincher. It's game over play. And yet, in the fourth quarter and overtime, he was special, man.
Right
These
on
are
through.
special
man,
numbers.
go on, speak, man. Keep talking. Go on, keep. I love it, man.
So, what do you see in his growth? What do you see? Who is he? What is he?
Here's what we must appreciate and recognize. Because most don't get this opportunity. Most go through it in dealing in pain and sorrow. We are going through growth stages of Dak Prescott, but we're still having growth moments with the Dallas Cowboys. See, most growth stages are about losing. Oh, yeah, he played okay, he played better, but we lost the game. Dak Prescott came in his rookie year and put up one of the best rookie years ever. Last season, without Ezekiel Elliott, he only missed by 1 game. He missed the playoffs. And now, this year, he has them in first place in the NFC East. Yes, we measure him by the measurement of the greatest, of the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings that played this game. But if we really look at it, and he's only in his 3rd year, and we are right here. I understand. I get frustrated when he misses some things. But I'm telling you, the only reason you're doing this, Skip, is because you have such a measuring rod upon him in his young age. Give him time to keep getting better. But the rod in the arrow, it's just going up. It's just going up and away for the Dallas Cowboys. Because that young Dak Prescott is a player, buddy.
I think the biggest difference in his growth and his maturation is Amari Cooper. He has confidence in him, and the guy is technically sound. And, Mike, you know this, having played wide receiver in the Hall of Fame. The one thing you need as a route runner is patience. And he didn't have, for whatever reason, now, and they talked about how they worked, he and Dez worked, but the camaraderie there on the field was never there like it is in the 6 games that it's there.
Well, Dez is a different receiver now. He's a different type of receiver. Dez Bryant is an I'll go get you that ball receiver. And you give him credit for that, and you give him opportunities to do that. And that's okay if you're Tony Romo, because you're an established quarterback who already got your money. And I can throw you some of these, please go get the ball, please kind of balls. But if you Dak Prescott, you're a young guy, you're coming into this league, you got to make a name for yourself. You can't risk throwing those kind of balls and they're coming interceptions, because we'll have you out of this league very soon. So I understand it. What he got now is Amari Cooper. Let me tell you what makes him great. Amari Cooper is one of the best receivers in the NFL. I put A.J. Green up there with him that is great at transitioning in and out of routes. The best thing you can give a young quarterback is a great transition receiver. Somebody that I know, if I throw it when he's going in the route, by the time he comes out, he'll be all by himself and catch that pass. And that's exactly what Amari Cooper gave Dak Prescott. And let's just watch it. Let's just watch that arrow and that trajectory that I told you about. Look at it. It's going right there. It's on its way right there. It's on its way.
The coach got something for y'all this week.
Dare I bring this up? Am I starting to see a little bit of Aikman to Irvin? Am I a little bit? Just a little? I know that's the highest bar, but did Troy not trust you when it was 3rd and 8 in Washington or New York? Am I right?
Just tickling my bones.
Yeah,
You're tickling my bones when you talk
but am I right?
That's exactly what
What was this man's nickname? Playmaker.
It wasn't about outrunning anybody. It was about running in and out of cuts, and that's what Troy not? We can run 10 5 routes, and you know what a 5 route is, 17 back to 15. It's the deep out. I can run 10 4 routes. You know what that is? A deep square, 18 to 20 yards. I'm coming across.
And you ain't hit nobody that
I
bang
don't care what you say. And I can hit that bang 8. And no matter what you do, we can run 10 of them. We can run our eyes closed and catch 9 of them.
Am I right?
And that's where they
Troy
get it.
would not have it any other way. You better be where you're supposed to be.
Skip,
am I right?
Get that, Skip. When they get there, when they get to that place, and then you got Ezekiel Elliott, oh my God, man. I'm telling you, it's a great thing. I just want these guys to experience what it's like to have that moniker on your helmet, that star on your helmet, and be kept getting rings on your fingers. At the same time, ain't nothing in the world like it. Trust me, there's nothing in the world like it. And we got opportunity there.
Got an opportunity.
Oh, you please. You boy, you having fun. Oh, you having fun today. You having fun today. But your day coming. Your day coming, Michael Irvin. And it's going to happen next Sunday. But you know what? You have to give him credit. I mean, you look at the way Dak played. The first three quarters of the ball game, 2 interceptions. Yeah, he had a high completion percentage, but you're like, come on, bro. This game should have been over.
Bro. That's what I'm saying.
This game, yeah. Mike, really, truly, as thoroughly as the Cowboys dominated this game, you should have never had to go to overtime to win.
Yeah, I say that too. I say that too. But then I hearken back to my understanding that the times when we were scouring this NFC East, we had tough battles against those same teams. This is what's required in certain divisional games. You know this. It goes beyond talent on the field. It goes beyond records in the standings because these are your enemies. And it become tough games no matter what. They're never easy games. So I understood that. I said, okay, still, as long as he's still in this infancy stage and growth, he'll get to the Drew Brees stage where he can put those teams away like we should have put away Philadelphia yesterday. But we're not there yet. But we're winning in the infancy stage, and that's the great thing about
5 in a row and a 2-game lead.
I mean,
2-game lead in the division.
5 in a row.
Man, y'all hold on, time out.
That's the same thing you do high fives with. It's a 5 in a row.
First of all, hold on, put your hand down. You beat Washington. You beat Washington with Colt McCoy. Stop it. You beat the Eagles who were on that.
It is not our job to talk about who steps up. It's just who steps up, and we win. And we ain't got nothing to do with who it is. He gonna go talk about Washington and Colt McCoy. What about Drew Brees? He was there too.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all beat
and the Saints. Okay, mention that.
Okay, y'all got one quality win in there. One quality win, okay. You proud of that?
It's not one quality win.
Well, that wasn't a quality win yesterday?
Not.
Wait, was that not a quality win at Philly?
Right.
No,
that was your team.
The champs.
The defending champs. They beat them twice.
So let me get this right. In the last 2 weeks,
in
the last 2 weeks, I hate to throw out what they call prison yard mentality, but the last 2 weeks, you beat the baddest team in the NFL, and you beat the team that wore the ring last year in the NFL. When you beat the tops, you stand on top.
Yes, sir.
First of all, that wasn't the baddest team. I didn't think the Saints were the baddest team. But anyway, you won, like you said. You can only beat who you play. But
one timeout. Drew Brees was having the greatest quarterback year ever. They're leading the league in scoring, and they scored 10 points.
And your offense scored 13. Your offense scored 13.
Who won?
That's all that matters. If they scored 10 and a half, we would be saying the same thing. That's all that matters.
You won.
That's all that matters.
You won. But guess what? At the end of the day, if Roger Goodell does not hand that Lombardi trophy to Jerry Jones, I want you to have that same energy. I want you to have that same passion you got right now.
Oh, my God. So you won't...
I'm going to be in Atlanta. Will you be there?
I'm going to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to be there. Okay. I'm going to have all mine with me, and I'm going to tell them the ones they getting added to the collection. Yeah. Here's the part of the collection. Yeah. I will be there.
Yeah.
Now here's the kicker I'm telling you. Let's not just be there this year. Because this youth we have with the star on the side of our helmet, we could be dangling and dancing around that Super Bowl for the next 10 years. The next 10 years.
that is true.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
is true.
They 23, 24, 25 years.
Amari Cooper's
babies.
24 years old.
They babies.
But here's the thing,
They're babies.
Michael, you know that's not going to happen because you know why? Dak Prescott's going to want $30 million a year. Ezekiel Elliott's going to want $18 million a year. Amari Cooper's going to want $17 million. And you got to play DeMarcus Lawrence, and you got to pay Byron Jones.
Oh my
so
God.
you're not going to keep it all together. So stop it.
So let me get this right.
Yeah, get it right.
You have gone on to the salary cap to try to steal my glory in the midst of this story.
So you talking about they're going to run this out. We're going to have 10 years. We're going to have 10 years. You're not.
The cap's going to continue to move.
Well, get one.
Jerry Jones, one of the best businessmen in the world. He knows I'm going to give you some money early so you can give me a break later. You know, we're going to do some early
The last
things.
time, first of all, the last time y'all won a Super Bowl, you was in your 20s.
Yeah, listen.
You was in your 20s. You not in your 30s or 40s anymore, Mike. See, we over here talking.
That's the part that always tripped me out.
No, it don't trip me
Everybody I watch on air, they always want to talk about the history, but they want to limit history. I'm not. Unfortunately, folks, I've had some time in the courtroom, and the time I spent in the courtroom, they will tell you once you open the door, it's all there to discuss. Once you open the door to history, you can't stop at 20 years ago. You got to go all the way back, all up in history.
Okay, let's go
and
back.
The history is
how far you want to go back, Mike?
That we got 5. Okay. How many teams got 5? And we're about to get a 6. How many teams got 5? Stop limiting history.
Y'all about to get 6? When?
Soon. We just talked about it. You just went to the cap to knock me off. You went to the salary cap. You ain't talking about talent on the field. You talk about how you get some of my talent off the field. Are you joking?
That's what happens. You know how it happens. What happened to the Cowboys of the 90s? What happened, Mike? The salary cap, they started losing guys.
But it was new. It was just in. It just came in. Jerry Jones has masterful ways now.
Okay. Did Jerry not go get Deion Sanders? Did he not go get
added things to that? I'm telling you, added to it. I'm so. Listen, we can try to move around this, or we can talk right to this. The talent that young Dallas Cowboys team have, in the ability, and watching them learn to grow now and learn how to win games. No joke. Usually, they would have lost that game yesterday. But they found a way to win it, Skip. They found a way to win it. They found a way to win it without Zach Martin. They found a way to win it after watching Tyron Smith lead the game. All of those things, when you start learning how to overcome adversity in the middle of a game with young talent like that, winning games, oh my God, I'm telling you, you're on your way to something. I'm telling
Amen.
That's what I'm telling you.
All the only thing you're on your way to is winning the NFC East. That's the only thing you're on your way to.
No, we ain't on our way to that. We did that yesterday. Come on, speak clearly. Speak clearly, because I can't hear you.
That's the only thing you're on your way to.
We did that yesterday.
Whatever.
We on our way to other things.
They don't
the East,
do y'all get a ring?
Done. We put a check by that. Done.
How many NFC East rings you got?
I don't tell
No, exactly. Exactly. So until you get one of those, what we talking about?
Do they got NFC?
What are you talking about? How many does who have?
NFC East rings.
Him?
Yeah, he up there clapping about the NFC. We won that yesterday. We won the NFC East.
But this is, listen. You can't, it's not like an elevator. I can't just jump in and be on the next floor. I got to take steps to get to the next floor. And the first step was winning the NFC East. Yesterday, we did that. Now, we'll take another step.
Wait a second.
When we get
Dak Prescott already won it as a rookie, right?
And what did it get you?
Time to stick around.
What did it get you?
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Y'all ain't waiting up this early to get rid of me.
We'll continue this coming up next, guys. We got to hit a break here.
Warmed up.
Who deserves the blame for the Patriots loss yesterday? Michael stays to discuss that coming up next.
Please.
No mercy. The Dolphins had the play of the year to beat the Patriots yesterday, down by 5 in the final seconds. Kenyon Drake got the ball after 2 laterals and made a break for the end zone. Sped past Rob Gronkowski, who was on defense, and the Dolphins completed what is being dubbed the Miami Miracle. Pretty special stuff. We're once again joined by NFL Network analyst Michael Irvin and Skip Bayless's favorite person in the world. I'm pretty sure. It's safe to say.
He's up there.
He's up there. Michael, who's most to blame for the Patriots' loss yesterday?
Listen, and let's be real here. We love that too. That put that blame on you. Blame, you're to blame, you're to blame. we just talked about this when you're talking about division games. And in football, what makes it so great is, we're dealing with physical gifts, shoulders down. That's physical talent. Understanding gifts and understanding of the game, shoulders up. But there's something that goes on inside of a player. And for some reason, somehow, the Dolphins feel like no matter what.
That's true.
No matter what,
they're gonna win.
we can win this game.
Yep.
We can't beat them in New England. We can never make it to a playoffs and do anything great. But this game, late in the season, when they come to Miami, we can beat them. And that connectivity is what gets them through games like yesterday. That connectivity. I don't think you put the blame on anybody and say, oh, you're the cause we lost this game. If I got to place it on somebody, I'll say that's that connectivity that Miami has, and they feel that they can win against New England late in the season in Miami anytime.
Well, the way me and Skip Bayless do it on Undisputed, we assign blame.
Yeah, that's
that creativity. You do that creativity somewhere else, but here we're going to assign the blame. And Coach Belichick outsmarted himself on this situation.
By putting Grunt back there?
Exactly. He was expecting a Hail Mary, but Ryan Tannehill had missed a month because of a shoulder. He had gone out in spurts of this game because of an ankle injury.
Right.
What's the likelihood with an injured shoulder, an injured ankle, he's going to be able to launch the ball 80 yards from where he's going to throw it for and land it in the end zone? So once he saw the way they lined up, I'm calling timeout. I'm taking Gronk out. I'm putting Devin McCourty in because you want somebody that's qualified to tackle because it's going to be a tackling drill now, not a tip drill.
And you want somebody who can run.
Gronk.
Are y'all trying to say, stop. You really think that Coach Belichick thought that play would get back to the final safety in the game? No way he thought that was going to happen. No,
clearly he thought it was going to happen.
More people.
Guess why he thought it would happen? Because that's why he put Gronk. Let me ask you a question. Does he ever take Devin McCourty out?
No, in
a regular situation,
put Gronk back. Jump ball.
Exactly. So what's the likelihood he's going to get back there with a jump ball?
But a jump ball is one thing. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, he had a banged up shoulder. But why should Belichick listen to anybody telling him how hurt somebody else is when he's not ever telling you how hurt his guys are?
Yeah, but that's the point. But you know that going in. You know Tannehill has an injured shoulder. That's why he missed a month. You see him come out of the game and get both of his ankles taped. I mean, how many quarterbacks you know come out of the game and get both ankles taped? How many quarterbacks you know wear spat job?
Yeah, but listen, it's one of those. There's a reason you put miracle on it. You called it a Miami miracle. You didn't call it a Miami play. It's not something that comes down every day. This is a divine intervention, and that's basically what it is. Now you're telling us that who's to blame for the miracle? God himself. That's why you call it a miracle. Come on, New England played that game. They should have won that game. Outside of that one play that ended in the game, I can't put blame.
Well, how about I blame Tom Brady?
God, because they were there within striking distance?
No, because he took a sack before the end of the half. Because of his last 6 possessions, he had the ball. He scored 6 points. You want to talk about that? Is that divine intervention?
I would like to talk about that. Thank you very much. Tom Brady had his best game of the year yesterday. He threw for 358 and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is blasphemy, but I continue to say, what has happened to Bill Belichick's defense? I'll give you Gronk or no Gronk. And again, the jump ball is going to occur at the 30-yard line.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. Devin McCourty had played every defensive snap of the game until the last snap of the game. So I don't get that. But I want to know why Tom Brady's offense controlled the football game and ran 75 plays to Miami's 45 plays. And on those 45, Miami averaged gaining 9.2 yards every time they snapped the ball. 9.2? That's like Kyler Murray at OU numbers. Seriously.
That's incredible.
Okay? Well, that's just wrong. And so Tom Brady all day long kept trying to overcome the defense, and he screwed it up because he is human, and he tried to do too much because he had missed Chris Hogan on the back line on the previous play with a blitzer in his face.
Yeah.
Okay? He missed it. He ducked for cover. He's not going to take the kill shot. He's not going to take it.
He got pliability.
He's 41. He's 41. He protects himself, and he made a business decision.
That's what Michael Irvin. You know what separates the greats from the others is that they'll stare down that barrel and they'll make that throw. Troy, how many bang aids Troy make to you?
You can't. Are you saying there's separation from greats and Tom? Tom is the great.
Thank you. I'm saying that's what makes the greats greats, is that they'll stare down there and they'll make that throw. They'll take that chop in the mouth, and you know it.
In the ice water that runs through in tough moments and crucial moments.
Okay, that was a crucial moment.
And Tom Brady has done that, and he continues to.
I'm not talking about, but you keep telling me. I'm not talking about what he's done. I'm talking about what he didn't do.
Shannon, it looked like it was going to be a blowout at this point.
It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been.
But the last 4 possessions, Tom Brady gave you 6 points.
Okay, but he put you in position with 7 seconds left in the game. You were in position to win the game and to go to 10-3, and it looks like for a moment you're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
Until Patrick Mahomes closed his eyes and threw his prayer into the middle of the
Why would they
field.
have to settle for a field goal?
Tyreek Hill came from nowhere and caught that pass.
Hold on, Mike. You and Skip, since y'all over here, y'all got pom-poms on today. Why is Tom Brady having to settle for a field goal?
I'm just saying.
No, I want you to just say, why does Tom Brady have to settle for a field goal? Just say that, and then you can make your point.
Wait, they're up 33-28 with 7 seconds left.
They should have been.
And Miami stuck it. It's 31-yard line.
They should have got 4 points.
It's over.
If you get 4 points, you don't have to worry about it. It's 37-28.
You understand?
Okay, the kicker left 4 points out there by missing a field goal and extra point.
Oh, don't do that, Skip.
Well, he did.
Well, how many did the quarterback lose by taking that sack and taking points off the board?
3. He cost him 3 points.
It amazes me at how we handle New England. We got the microscope. We're looking at everything. We're trying to find the first inkling of a slip. The first inkling of a slip.
Yep.
And every year they come back and show you. And matching what San Francisco did and number 10 win seasons every year. It's incredible the amount of discipline, the amount of greatness that you are getting to witness watching those.
Oh, yeah, you'll never see anything like that again.
You'll never see it again.
But we're not talking about what's going to happen or what a transpire. We're talking about the game.
I understand what you're saying.
So,
I understand what you're saying. But as we're talking through it, let's talk about where they are still.
So
they are still the number 2 seed, ready to do what they do.
Let me ask you a question. So what's different about New England than other great teams? Did they not get critiqued? Did teams not critique those 90 Cowboys? Did teams not critique those 80 49ers?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, are you talking about what's different in the annals of their greatness?
No, the only thing that's different now, there's more platforms. There's 24-hour news cycle.
Right.
And there's guys like Skip and I do what we do.
Right, and we are fully into the free agency era and all of the turnover that happens within a team. And Belichick is still creating this kind of greatness in the midst of that turnover.
Cole Belichick is great. He's the greatest of the greats.
Okay, last quick question. New England now goes to Pittsburgh next Sunday. What's left of the Steelers? Do you still trust them at all?
No. Man, listen. This is why I had the Steelers. I had the Steelers in the Super Bowl. You know, and before all the Le'Veon Bell thing went down, and this game is different. You got to take all the talent you can take. So a couple weeks ago, everybody said, looked like they won the Le'Veon Bell deal. Okay, doesn't look like it anymore. It doesn't look like it anymore. Yeah, okay, you won then, but the object is to win by the end of the year.
Yep.
And that is not the situation going on right now. I'm blown away. I believe that honestly, we build quarterbacks so much. Ben Roethlisberger is the man in Pittsburgh, and that's a good thing, and that's a bad thing.
Yep.
They're both together. It's the greatest asset that Pittsburgh had and the greatest liability.
Yep.
It's one being
Roethlisberger.
Michael, we got to keep you for another segment because we're about to get real around here. Can the Cowboys actually make it to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Don't answer yet. That's coming up.
That's a conversation.
No mercy. The Cowboys improved to 8-5 yesterday behind Dak Prescott's career-high 455 passing yards and 3 touchdown passes. All of those touchdown passes went to Amari Cooper. Cooper became the first Cowboy with at least 200 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in a game since Michael Irvin.
Yep.
Back in '92.
Did we win the Super Bowl that year?
Well, here's my question.
Going on right there, just
history gonna repeat itself.
Yeah. Something like that.
Can they do it this year, though, is my question.
Can the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl?
Can they make it back to the Super Bowl?
Oh my gosh. Can you ask the question one more time? Just to hear those names, Cowboys and Super Bowl.
How much of a shot do you give them?
Again.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It has been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a minute. Yeah. But that minute has gone past us by now because this is a great opportunity. Absolutely, the Cowboys. When you think about it, and we said this, and a lot of people have said this. Don't try to change it now. At one moment, the Saints were the best team in the NFL. They beat the Rams. They were the best team in the NFL. The Cowboys went and beat the Saints. I've watched the Cowboys put together a great game offensively. They did that against the Jets. I watched different components win games throughout this season now for the Cowboys. The Redskins game, Amari Cooper won that game. We watched Zeke wins game. We watched the defense win. They can do this now. All they have to do is put it all together, Skip. Yep. They still hadn't put it all together yet and had that great blowout game. You said it right here yourself. Man, Dak missed some plays yesterday. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys left plays on the football field yesterday. When they clean up that stuff, they'll be as good as anybody, especially behind that defense that they have on the football field right now. Absolutely. You can run, you can play defense, and now you're incorporating that great passing game with the young Amari Cooper, who looks like a young Mike Irvin, who just had 200 yards since a young Mike Irvin that was in the game. Absolutely.
Yep.
They can go back to the Super Bowl where a young Mike Irvin took them before.
Well, when I look at it like this, I believe they can win a home game. Can they beat the Bears at home? Sure. Can they beat Seattle if they possibly make it to the playoffs? Sure. Do I believe that they can go on the road and beat New Orleans in their building? I do not. Do I believe they can come to L.A. and play in the Coliseum? Now, the L.A. do not have. Now, that would be like a Dallas home game because remember, Skip, when the Green Bay came out here, it was like a Green Bay home game in the Coliseum.
Especially in Southern California.
Yes.
Cowboys.
So the Rams would lose any edge of home field they might have, but I just believe to lead back, and by that time he would have played himself back into football shape. I don't believe they could go on the road and win those two games. And then I want us to invite Michael Irvin back on the show. Once that thing come to a screeching halt, Mike, is it that energy you came out with today?
I'll be right here.
Yeah.
He's going to invite himself back on the show.
Right here. I'm going to be sitting outside.
Show up anytime. You have an invitation. Just come in.
Okay, let them go and win those games. And you won't invite me. You don't need to invite me. I'm going to be sitting outside by your car when you pull up. So I like to hear hey, my agent said y'all ain't called. Can I get back on this show right now?
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to be a little careful here.
Right now.
There's still 3 games to go, and Andrew Luck has been crazy hot.
He's been hot, man.
I don't know. And they have to go up there, and then they play Jameis back in Dallas. Okay, but Tampa hung in there with New Orleans, which brings me to the Saints, by the way. Well, they finish at the Giants, and don't let them have to go up to the Giants to win the game.
Oh, they'll say he goes play small. That's what they'll say.
Well, they didn't need. Who's that guy? Odell? What's his name?
Saquon. Saquon say he's the best back in the East.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's Saquon bad boy now.
So I want to be careful with this because it ain't over until it's over, and they got to make it over by going and winning one of these games somewhere because they're up 2 with 3 to play. And I don't want it to come down to that game at the Giants because that's a little dicey because the Giants have been playing pretty to very well. Am I right?
Yep.
So the Eagles have a tough game at the Rams. Maybe they'll lose their way out of it. Right. But the point is, this team beat New Orleans head-to-head. I know it was at Jerry World, but it was on a Thursday night, and you were there, and you were front and center, and it was a big deal and a big clash and a big moment for that team to come of age. So do I think they could win at New Orleans? It would be really difficult. Do I think they would go in there with high confidence? Yeah.
Right. Because it's not just they beat them, it's how they beat them.
They beat them. They held them to
it's how they beat them.
2 out of 9 on third down.
Right.
Really?
Right.
And under 200 yards. But the question is, do you believe Dallas can summons up that type of defensive performance one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Absolutely.
Now that's the unit that gets better by the snap.
I was there. I watched, and I love him. I watched Kamara when Jaden Smith ran all the way across that field. and laid hands upon him.
Bam! That should have been, that was a helmet. They got to call that, right?
That's the second time.
Well,
he hit him early in that game.
Yeah, he did.
He hit him early in that game. And I saw Kamara, I was like, what was that?
Where'd that come from?
Oh, my God.
Oh, y'all got out
there. You know what I mean? Yes, and that's what I'm saying. When you go, it's not just that you won the game. It's how you won the game that gets you to carry that confidence and say, we'll play them anywhere, anytime, any kind of game you want to play, because they were physical to New Orleans. They were physical. And I'm willing to see if New Orleans, if the Rams can face that kind of physical defense.
I agree with that.
And we saw yesterday
They could not.
that they could not.
No.
They could not. How dare you put mouth together, lips smacking one with each other, and say the Cowboys can't get there when you saw the defensive performance take out the Rams.
How dare you, Shannon Sharpe?
Let me ask you a question. Is it going to be 15 degrees in L.A.?
Oh, my God.
I'm just asking. I'm not a weather.
It won't be 15 degrees.
Okay.
It won't be 15
be good
degrees.
for our team.
But they will swear that there were 15 men on defense with the speed that these Cowboys run around with.
Okay.
That's what we're talking
Have
about.
that same energy now.
That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
What you saw Roquan Smith doing it, that's a bad boy, too.
He is.
I know we talk about Khalil Mack, but Roquan Smith was bad.
Oh, they were hunting. Oh, he introverted was coming down here.
They were hunting, boy. They were hunting. I'm telling you. But just know, the same hunting that they were doing, we got hunters like that on defense in Dallas. And I'm telling you, yes, you can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
You heard what I said?
We're going to end it right there. They can't get better than that.
You didn't say that. You're yes, we can. I ain't hear no yes, we will.
Michael, you're amazing. Thank you for joining us finally. Remember that standing invitation. Come on in anytime.
I will definitely be back.
All right. We're back after this to wrap up this craziness. No mercy. It's time for our final topic of the day here on Undisputed. Baker Mayfield had one of the best throws of his young career yesterday when he found Jarvis Landry for a 51-yard touchdown over two defenders. And Baker and the Browns got their 5th W of the season. So, Shannon, how impressed were you with that throw?
It was a great throw. Skip, I think I might have underestimated his arm strength. For him to make that throw yesterday was unbelievable, and for him to bounce back in the fashion in which he bounced back yesterday, coming off last week where he threw 3 interceptions. He was clean this week, and he only got sacked once. He's only gotten sacked once in the last month, considering how many times he got sacked to start his career. So I was very impressive. I was very impressed with the throw, but I was very impressed with the poise at which he showed yesterday, bouncing back from that performance that he had the week before.
So he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes' arm, but he's got a good one.
Plenty good.
And he's got an underestimated arm. I thought he did when I watched him at Oklahoma, which is why he won the Heisman, and then somebody else won it on Saturday night. I just had to bring that up because they got back-to-back, but that's who knows. So Baker Mayfield now has this team at exactly Aaron Rodgers' record in Green Bay. They're both 5-7-1. Would you believe that? And would you believe I give the Browns a shot to win at Denver on Saturday night and then beat the Bengals, who they already beat at Cincinnati, and then they already beat the Ravens at home, but they have to finish at the Ravens. Wouldn't it be something if Baker Mayfield got them to 8-7-1? Would that not be?
You want to put some dude that don't get 8-7-1?
No, I do not. But I told you before the year, if he had started from the start, I would have given him 9 wins, and I stand by that. They would have won 9 games. Yes.
Well, I mean, he played well. Why you just can't take a compliment? I gave the man a compliment about his arm strength and
lightning rod.
Well, and then you mess it up.
Lightning
They're not
rod.
beating Denver in Denver.
He is dangerous.
Von Miller,
dangerous.
Rock.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.